Yo, today I'm taking a look at the new Dave Otero Drumshotz sample pack from Drumforge. This is a collection of one-shot samples by producer extraordinaire Dave Otero. Now, I'm not going to go through my whole drum mix or anything like that. I'm just going to talk about using these samples to build a solid foundation and to add a lot of consistency that will ultimately make your job of getting a professional sounding drum mix a lot easier. So to start with, here I've got some programmed drums with a very well-known VST that has some very realistic sounding samples. Here's how the drums sound on their own with no added samples or mixing. As you can hear, the drums sound alright, but there's a lot of things that could be improved. The kick has a really nice low end, but it's not very tight. The snare doesn't quite have the attack that I'd like, and the toms are just kind of lacking definition. So this is where the drum shots come in. So I've got these samples loaded into Slate Trigger, which is very, very easy to set up. You get a variety of different samples to choose from, all with dry and smack enhancer variants, and some with reverb and room samples that you can use. As you can see here, I'm using the sleigh kick and blending the dry and smack enhancer samples with the original kick. Due to the nature of one-shot samples, if you just use the drum shot samples on their own, your drums might start to sound a bit too artificial. So I'm mostly using these samples to reinforce the natural drum tones, but obviously feel free to experiment. I'm also using the sleigh snare, and I'm doing a very similar thing, but I have a pre-fader send to another instance of trigger where I have the room and reverb sounds loaded. That way I can adjust them and mix them on a separate fader. I'm also still making use of the original snare bottom and ambient channels, which is adding a lot to the snare sound and helps keep things sounding more natural. With the toms, I'm using the Yamaha Birch 10, 12 and 14-inch toms respectively. I'm actually contradicting what I just said and blending out the original toms entirely on the close mics. I really like my toms to be very punchy, and in the context of this song it just works really well. Something to note here is I've actually tuned the samples to match the pitch of the original toms so that they don't clash with the ambient channels, which, as I said before, add a lot to the drum sound and keep things from sounding too artificial. So let's listen to our unmixed drums again, but this time with the drum shots blended in. As you can hear, we're much closer to that solid modern metal drum sound that we want before we even start mixing. Just by adding these samples, I've made it so much easier for myself to get that result I'm looking for. And from here, it's just a few very simple steps to get that consistent, polished drum sound. Now I'm going to show you the final drum mix, first without the drum shots, so that you can see what a huge impact they make on the final sound. And now, here's the exact same drum mix, but with the drum shots blended in. So those are the Dave Otero drum shots. I hope you like my video. I'm actually getting over a cold at the time of recording, so I apologise for my annoying nasally voice. If you did enjoy, please give it a like and subscribe. I also post regular little guitar videos on Instagram, so check the links in the description to check that out. Finally, the song in the video was by my band Deities. It's called Luna from our Archon EP, which is available on Spotify and all that other stuff. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you next time.